Alrighty, good morning everyone. So today we're going to be having a look at reading line graphs. Now this is a really important skill. Line graphs come up all of the time and they're most useful when we're looking at time along the bottom and we're just looking at how something changes over time. So in this case we're looking at someone's money. You can see that at 1 week they had $400, right? Can you all see that? And we can see that maybe over here, a little bit hard to read, but at 5 weeks, he had just a little bit under $1,000. I'm going to say that's pretty much on the line between, $980 in 5 weeks. So that sort of just helps us sort of understand. So the first question it asks us is identify the variable that the horizontal axis is measuring. Remember, horizontal is this one down here. And it says what it is right there. So it's time in weeks. Remember, line graphs are almost always measuring time down the bottom. Not always, but just about always. Let's have a look at it. Identify the variable that the vertical axis is measuring. Well, the vertical axis, remembering that's this one, going straight up, it's the amount of money. Bank account balance. Remember, balance is just a fancy word for how much money's in your account. So I might even just write that, bank account balance. Alrighty, so the next question asks, identify the value of the account at 4 weeks. Okay, so let's find 4 weeks. Let's look up until we hit the equation. Okay, so it looks like it's almost at 700, but it's not quite at 700. I hope most of you'd agree that it's close to 700 without actually being at 700. So I'm going to say it's very close. It's about $690. Alrighty, what about the value of the account at 5 weeks? Okay, let's have a look up. Alright, it's grown quite a bit. I think this is one we were looking at before. So that looks like it's nearly $980. So the next question asks, by how much did the value of the account increase between the 4th and the 5th week? Well, how much did it go up by? Well, that's just the difference between the two. So 980 minus 690. That's going to leave me with $290 going up by. And so the last part is just saying, give a possible reason for the value of the account increasing. Well, if we're measuring the number of weeks that pass and the value of an account, well, it makes sense that if their money has gone up, it's because they've been paid. So this was probably pay week. So they've just been paid that week. And that's why their money's gone up so much. Alrighty. So very similar questions, but a slightly different graph, okay? So there's your graph, those are your questions. Pause the video, see if you can work out the answers to them. Alrighty, so you've had to go through. So first one, identify the variable that the horizontal axis is measuring. Horizontal, that's time. Determine the variable that the vertical axis is measuring, temperature. You can see in brackets it says degrees Celsius, so temperature, and it's in degrees C. Determine the temperature at 4 a.m. 4 a.m.'s here, heading up to the line, and we can see that that matches up with this almost perfectly. You can see just across. So that's 10, 11, 12, 13 degrees Celsius. What about the temperature at 5 a.m.? Well, if this is 4 a.m. and 6 a.m.'s over here, 5 a.m.'s along here, looking across. Oh yeah, So it's just above the 15 mark, so I'm going to call it 16 degrees Celsius. So by how much did the temperature change between 4 and 5 a.m.? Well, 16 minus 13 is 3 degrees Celsius. And so why might the temperature increase? Well, it's going from early morning to later morning, so the sun is probably rising. Which is increasing the temperature. And that's it. That's all we have to do for today. Alrighty. So, hope that all made sense, and I'll see you in the next one.